Know now the depth of my lord's courage.
Hello and welcome to this episode of Every Movie is Awesome. I'm Kyle and today we're going to be talking about 47 Ronin. We've got samurais and dragons and revenge. It's a Universal Studios production with $175 million budget and only grossed $152 million. With a 127-minute runtime, it was first released in Japan December 6th, then later on Christmas Day in the US 2013. Directed by Carl Wrench, who had only previously done film shorts, so this is his feature film debut. And our writers are Chris Morgan, who had done the Fast and Furious series and Wanted, and Hossein Amini, who had done Drive and Snow White and the Huntsman. Now our actors are Keanu Reeves, who plays Kai, previously of Matrix, Constantine, and The Day the Earth Stood Still remake. Also Hiroyuki Sanada, who plays Oishi, previously of Rush Hour 3, The Last Samurai, and The Wolverine. Now this story is about an outcast that helps a group of Ronin regain their samurai status. Also, it is a fantasy story that is inspired by the honor of the original 47. It is not the real story, it's not a documentary, and never claims itself to be such. Also, just for a good measure, it's got a bit of a love story.
Spoiler alert, if you have yet to see this film, I recommend that you go do so and then come back and finish the rest of this video.
Now the inciting incident is when Lord Asano puts on a hunting tournament to find out who is the best samurai. But Kai ends up killing the beast, thusly proving he is the best warrior. But since he is not a samurai, he goes uncredited. Which is a theme in this film, Kai trying to gain acceptance amongst the samurai ranks. The call to action is when Lord Asano is poisoned by Mizuki the Witch and tricked into attacking Lord Kira. As punishment for this, he is sentenced to the honorable death of seppuku. This makes Oishi the leader of the Akko samurai. However, they all get banished as Ronin.
Masterless samurai.
Oishi is thrown into a hole, Kai is sold to Dutch slavers, and Miku is held as a prisoner fiancé. A year later, Oishi is released and decides to retake Akko. He saves a reluctant hero from slave fighting and convinces him to recapture Akko and save Miku.
But I need your help.
Our heroes are initially tested when they need to find swords to recapture Akko.
Take mine. When we meet again, I'll have more waiting for you.
Kai leads them to a Tenju cave, and through a battle of discipline, they obtain the swords. The twist comes when Lord Kira hears about this Ronin resurgence and sets an ambush for them, killing many of the Ronin. In committing to the conclusion, the Ronin sign a blood oath to retake Akko, sealing their fate. This is actually when Kai gains credit for killing the beast in the beginning, meaning that he is no longer an outcast. And in preparation for this, the Ronin disguise themselves as entertainment for the wedding and infiltrate Akko. The climax comes when Kai kills the witch, Oishi kills Lord Kira, and they save Miku, recapturing Akko. Now the resolution comes when the shogun deems all these samurai are honorable once again for retaking their domain.
I see only samurai before me.
However, they are punished for going against the shogun's initial orders, so they are sentenced to death by seppuku. So there's the plot. It's precise, and with its themes, it has a deep meaning. Now for the technical aspects, there's a use of CGI in this film. It's used for a very particular purpose. It's used as a hyperbole to emphasize different points. For example, the intro piece. Now this thing is huge, it's massive, and extremely dangerous. So it adds to just the badassness the samurai would have to possess in order to take it out. Then there's the poison spider that Mizuki uses to poison Lord Asano. This adds to Mizuki's creepiness because it plays on the arachnophobia a lot of people have. Then there's the use of the forbidden magic. Now this adds to the awesome fighting skill of Kai as well as his mysterious background. And lastly, there would be this serpent battle at the end. That adds to the strength and power of Mizuki as a villain, as well as the difficulty of retaking Akko. Now for casting and characters, there's Keanu Reeves. He fits perfectly in his role because he actually is part Japanese, so he makes sense in that half-breed / outcast role. Now his character goes from a guy that is trying to gain acceptance amongst the samurai ranks to actually achieving this in the end. And then there is Hiroyuki Sanada's Oishi. Now previously Sanada had been the bad samurai, like in Rush Hour 3 or The Wolverine, but in this it's really nice to see him work alongside Kai and be a good samurai. And then there's Rinku Kikuchi. She plays the evil witch Mizuki. Now she does a really great job at being creepy, which you can see in this clip.
You understand the price of your love. I promised, my lord, I would not harm a hair on your head.
Aside from being creepy, which she obviously does well, she could also be considered the main villain since Kai has to defeat her in the end. And then there is the Golem Samurai. He is a formidable foe, a henchman of Lord Kira, and he thoroughly tests our fears. Now, my favorite character is Basho, played by Takuto Yamamoto. Now, he is the fun-loving samurai that has an absolutely heart-wrenching death. But in addition, Yamamoto had actually never done any acting before this. It's his feature film debut. It's impressive how well he's able to perform with a one-on-one dialogue with a star like Reeves.
What's so special about these swords? What do they do?
Depends.
On what?
Who uses them?
What about a tall, strong, brave man like me?
They cut.
I think mine is broken.
Awesome moment number 1.
This first awesome moment is the champions fight with Kai and the Golem Samurai. It's supposed to be between the two best samurais of the two domains. However, Kai is not a samurai, so he's not even supposed to be here. However, he did prove himself to be the best warrior in Akko in the inciting incident, so it does make sense for him to be here. And he puts up a great fight. Even though he doesn't win, he still manages to put on a good show.
Awesome moment number 2.
This awesome moment is the tragic seppuku of Lord Asano. Now it shows his devotion and honor to being a samurai.
Awesome moment number 3.
This awesome moment is the cave fighting with the monks. This is where Kai takes Oishi into the Tenju monk cave. Now while Kai and the monk are having their discussion, Oishi was given one task, and that is to not draw his sword. And even in the face of the worst atrocities he could imagine, his own brothers being slaughtered, he does just that. He does not draw his sword. It shows just his discipline and his honor to being a samurai.
Awesome moment number 4.
Now this awesome moment is when Kai takes on Mizuki in her final form as being a giant, massive dragon. This shows Kai become the hero that he was always meant to be and has an epic battle with Mizuki. In conclusion, this story is inspired by the honor of the original 47 and is not a documentary. It has a clear plot, and with its themes it has a deep meaning. The CGI in it is spectacular and adds to the story. And the casting and characters, it has a sensible cast that fit the characters appropriately. Well, thank you for watching this episode of Every Movie is Awesome. If you have any questions, comments, or other films you would like us to review, please leave them in the comments section below. The next film we will be reviewing is Doom.